Cowabunga, dudes! Michelangelo here from the original Ninja Turtles, and you are about to watch a very cool Ninja Turtles review by Pixel Dan right here. All right, Turtle Power!
Hey guys, I'm Pixel Dan, and this is a review of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Secret of the Ooze, Michelangelo. That's right, I am continuing my look at the brand new Walmart exclusive figures from the film Secret of the Ooze. So let's go ahead and check out Mikey. As you can see, he comes in that new window box packaging that fully showcases our new Michelangelo action figure and all of his accessories inside. The top has the TMNT logo, while underneath the figure it notes that he is from the Secret of the Ooze movie. As you rotate this around to the backside, we have a brief description explaining the figure and the film, and down below that, we get a look at the figure with his accessories. So let's go ahead and pull Mikey outside of the box and take a closer look at him. So, just like with Leonardo, whom I'm already taking a look at, it's definitely worth noting that the figure itself is the exact same sculpt as what we saw on the original movie release from the classic collection that Playmates Toys released. So everything on the body here and even his nunchuck weapons are the same from that figure. The only difference is the fact that he does come with a new head sculpt. In fact, he's got 4 different heads, and his skin tone is a different color this time around. So out of the package, this particular Michelangelo does have a big smiling face, which I actually like quite a bit. It's a really nice smile. I kind of don't like how the gap in his mouth is the same color as the skin tone, and it's also not very deep. So I kind of wish that was at least painted black or something, and it's kind of like that on all the open mouths on this particular figure, but otherwise it's a pretty nice smile. Now I will say that while this is a pretty nice Michelangelo head, it doesn't really match the look of Mikey from The Secret of the Ooze. That's one thing I've kind of noticed with all these figures. They're close, but not quite there. But still make for good-looking Ninja Turtle toys. So that's one thing to definitely keep in mind with these particular figures. Now, I mentioned that he's got 4 different heads, and they're very easy to interchange. You can see he just comes right off the ball joint there on the neck, so you can pop that off, and you can pop on some of these other heads in place. Just got to kind of work them on there, and you can see they do have a nice tight grip. So the next head is kind of this weird-looking confused head. The eyes are a little crooked, unfortunately, too, on that bandana you can see. Again, open mouth with the green inside. I don't really like. And this particular head, I'm not a huge fan of. So we'll move on to the next one here. This one is another wide open Mikey head, and this one's the worst of them all because the huge gap that's just painted green like the rest of his skin tone I don't really like. However, the shape of the mouth there totally looks like he's yelling, "I love being a turtle!" or "Cowabunga!" I think that's kind of fun. Definitely a very Mikey feeling head. The last head that comes with him is the same head sculpt from the original movie release figure that we already got. And to be perfectly honest, out of all the heads in this one's still my favorite in this particular figure pack. So I like that one quite a bit. It's a little close to the movie, like I said. Not quite there, but definitely still looks like a good Michelangelo toy. So taking a look at the rest of the details on this figure, like I said, it does match up with what we already got before, but you'll notice his skin tone is a much lighter green. It's kind of neat because he's got the lighter green skin tone, very similar to what we've been seeing on the recent Nick Turtles Michelangelo toys. So it's kind of interesting that they went that route. You'll notice that there's no extra painted detail on the skin, and again, I'll note the absence of the spots. The spots were a lot more prominent in Ninja Turtles 2 Secret of the Ooze, so I kind of wish that we kind of got those on the back of his head and his shoulders and everything there. I do really like the detailing of the shell. I like the scratches. I like the design and everything on there. And you'll notice he's got the little spot on the back of his belt to hold on to his nunchuck, which is really, really nice. The figure itself stands 6 inches tall, which is the same as what we've seen with all of the classic collection figures, as you can see. Actually, just a little over 6 inches there, which is really nice. And they all feature over 30 points of articulation. So let's talk about that real quick. Of course, he's on that ball joint on the neck there. We removed the head already. You can see how it also rotates left and right, kind of moves up and down. He does have nice ball joints at the shoulder, so arms can go outwards, forwards, and backwards. We got a nice swivel at the bicep, double joints at the elbow, swivel at the wrist. He has those individually articulated fingers. He's got the joint in the upper torso there. The shell is connected to that part of the body, so you can kind of rotate the body left and right, kind of rock it around as well. We do have those hinge-like joints at the thighs, so legs can go outwards, forwards, and backwards. We got the swivels at the thigh cut, double joints at the knees, which are hidden under the knee pad, which I really like there. Really nice ankle joints that are good and tight, which is good for these. And then the individually articulated toes. One thing that I really like with Mikey here is that all of the articulation is nice and tight on this guy. So I haven't had any problems with the joints being too loose. You can pose them pretty well. In fact, the only joints that I really have a problem with, and I'll point this out in all of these reviews of these figures, is the fingers. I don't really feel like we necessarily need to have the articulated fingers, because it kind of makes it hard for them to grip onto their weapons. Now, Mikey does come with a pair of nunchucks, which have real metal chains, which I love. Perfect for collector type figures. Also is nice because they're not just like an orange color, you know. You got actually brown nunchucks with a nice little wood kind of sculpt in there, and then the metal chains, which is really cool. You can see he's got a little groove in his hand there to hold onto it, but because the fingers are articulated, the grip isn't very tight. It's actually a little loose. You can kind of see how that falls through. Honestly, I think I would be totally fine if he just had non-articulated fingers and had really good grips. That way you can just tightly hold on to the weapons. You can get the weapons in there just fine. You can see I'm making it work. They're just never going to grip on too tight, and they'll be a little loose sometimes. So aside from 4 interchangeable heads and the nunchucks, Mikey comes with a few movie-specific accessories, which is what really makes these figures shine. This is one of my favorites. Mikey comes with combat cold cuts! Really great scene in the movie, right? Sausage links that he can use as nunchuck. So you can see they're kind of molded in a way, so they're a little stiff. They're not, no metal chains, obviously. But really fun accessories, the missing link. I love it. I thought that was just such a great accessory to come with Mikey here. Just fantastic. Everybody remembers that scene from the film, so really good choice to include these as accessories. He comes with another really great accessory from the film, too. In fact, I feel like Mikey might have won the accessory pool out of all these figures. Again, great accessory from the film is the Simply Donuts box. It even has the logo on it exactly from the movie. And you can see it's a little open box of donuts. You can pull this lid off. It's like kind of tight in here, though. Yeah, it actually clips in there really tight. But it does have some donuts in here. You can pull them out. It comes with 3 donuts. We got a little pink donut. We got a little brown donut, and then we've got the powdered white donut. This one specifically, you might remember, this is the one that Razar picked up and bit into. If you remember the scene from the movie, this is what they tricked Toka and Razar into eating, like the little retro mutagen cubes to demutate them back to a turtle and a wolf. So that is just a really fun accessory. You can use it multiple ways. I mean, you can use it to recreate that scene, or your turtles can just chow down on some donuts, whatever you want. Alright guys, it's comparison time. Here's a look at this brand new Secret of the Ooze Michelangelo standing alongside the first movie version, just so you can see the difference with the head sculpt as well as the color scheme. And just for fun, here he is standing alongside the vintage movie star Michelangelo. So there you go, my friends. There is a look at the brand new Secret of the Ooze Michelangelo action figure from Playmates Toys. Overall, I do really like this quite a bit. Now, I kind of have the same little nitpicks across the board with all of these figures, so I apologize if I sound like I'm repeating myself if you watched all of my reviews. My only gripes really fall in the fact that the articulated fingers make it hard for them to hold on to their weapons, and the fact that they don't really perfectly match the way the characters looked in the movie. Still, they look like good Ninja Turtles action figures, and I will say that even though the sculpt itself is shared with the original release that Playmates already put out, they did improve upon it by giving them tighter articulation, and all of the added accessories are a really nice bonus. So if you're a fan of Secret of the Ooze, or you really want those accessories, I'd say these are worth tracking down and picking up. These are exclusive to Walmart stores and are hitting store shelves right now, so happy hunting, my friends. Hey guys, if you enjoyed this video, why not hit that like button and subscribe so you never miss